lot of improvement in that regard. Other things that were kind of needing a little more work was, depending on the person, certain technical details or Aiki, basically, flowing, blending, flexible. And, you know, everybody ensures their own way. But the technical details, some of them are really important, so I thought that I would focus on that just a little bit in the context of what techniques that we're doing, and then remind people why certain things are important. Like when I say at the moment of throwing, the foot that's forward is the foot that's closest to uke. I mean, there are exceptions, but as a general rule, that's a pretty good idea. It makes you much more stable. So, Fred. The sensation here that I want to work on is Fred is pushing my hand. Okay? And if Fred doesn't push my hand, I'm not going to move it. Okay? Then, once it starts to go, pull 10 times. The foot that comes forward is the foot closest to him. If I don't do that, a couple of things in this technique happen. One, I lose half my range. So it's harder for me to make him lose his balance. Two, if he does fall and holds on, he's got a much better chance of taking me with him, as if I had the other leg forward. So we're working on this notion of him, okay, making me move, not me making me move, him making me move. And pay attention to the okay? It's not the only way to do it, but it's teaching certain things I want to teach right now. One of the nice things about this approach is that there's nothing for him to fight, because it's all him. Okay, go ahead, Lawrence. Otherwise, add your practice. Just do whatever I did last. So stop. So it can be very good in Uchi to lead, okay? But I'm trying to work on a principle. Someone attacks me and I try to do Uchi, I'm going to lead. But we're turning that off for now. We're trying to isolate a different skill. It's like we're trying to work on a particular muscle, so we're taking the shoulders out of it so that we strengthen just that muscle by resting our elbow on a table, right? Same idea. So what we're working on is Uke does all the work. So try to make Uke the one who moves your arm. And you just decide which direction it's going to go in. But you don't make it move. Okay, good. Sensei. Same side grab. That's where it comes from, but then Sensei used it for different reasons, okay? And so it creates a target that draws him in to this target. And then we can change on him and disorient him. We want to make it look like here's a target. Okay? That's to our advantage. We're the bait. So we'll do cross hand grab, and we'll do Kotegashi. So I can't really do exactly what I did before, which is he moves my arm, because I'll never be able to catch up to get off the line. So I have to move a little bit ahead of him with my feet, but I still want to feel as if he was moving me, even though I'm moving myself. It should feel like he's moving me with some invisible force. Just like when we pushed our hand. That's the feeling you want to cultivate. And if you cultivate that feeling, you will have perfect timing. And if you have perfect timing, he won't see a way to mess with you. But if you don't have perfect timing, it gives him openings to take advantage of it. So that's what he wants. That's what he gets. Okay? So, shoulders, and we're here, moving off to the side as he's coming. Then, Kotegashi grip. Using a little tenkan adds power. Inside the elbow. Okay? That's an ote to the front. Ra. Sometimes people will go, emote, then they'll go ra. You just wasted 3 seconds. Plus, worse, I'm going to ra because there's somebody coming up to stab me. Right? That's why I'm going to ra. If I go emote first, I got stabbed. And then I went ra and I got stabbed in the shoe. So it didn't do what it was supposed to do. If you're going to do a raw. Make a choice, commit to it, and do it. Very pure distinction, really, between a mote and a raw. So a raw, I can have more of the feeling of him moving my arm. Steady, but I don't need to be as far ahead of him. Tenkan is a circle. Yeah, Tenkan, for our purposes, it means it's circular. Turning, I think is what it means. Not walking backwards. There's a reason why not walking backwards. Several reasons why not walking backwards. Here's one. I'll fall into a cliff. There's a wall there. His friend is there. Moreover, though, more likely reason, pulling him into me. And you might be able to move back fast enough that he doesn't get a chance. But you're cutting it really close. Tenkan, I'm trying to come to you, but you can never get to me. Tenkan. Another reason Tenkan, it uses gravity and grounding onto the ground, and it uses a spiral, and it uses all these parts of your body, and it creates centrifugal force. So it creates a force that's greater than you, right? So if you were a kid, if you ever did the experiment, take a bucket, you put water in it, you go like this, and the water doesn't fall out. Now you pick up a bucket, go like this, the water falls out. You're not keeping that water in the bucket. You don't have the strength and power to keep that water in the bucket. You are engaging with centrifugal force, and it's very powerful. And it holds the water in the bucket. But all you're doing is using it. You're not making it, really. I mean, sure, you're making it with your movement, but you did not create a universe that happens to have this thing called centrifugal force in it, right? Sensei believed that there were really powerful forces that we could tap into, and centrifugal force being one of them. So when Paul comes to grab me, this is just me. This is something bigger than both of us. Okay, go ahead. Now let's go ahead and record them. I'm recording them. Paul, is that a rock?
Let's be on my face, Sensei, but screw it up.
So, as soon as possible, get Kotegashi grip. Once you get that grip, don't let it go. No matter what, don't let it go. Keep it. Still have it. Okay? So you're not probably getting exactly. So let's back up. I forgot one detail. This is improvement, innovation. A lot of people don't do it this way though. So there it comes. And when he's grabbing me, it's not as hard because I know where his hand is because I can feel it. When it's a punch or something, it's harder. But a lot of people that grab for the hand, okay? And it's real easy to miss. And so you have to look. And then I get clobbered by somebody because I'm looking here instead of looking around, right, to see where the other people are. So, it starts earlier and it rushes down. And then I find his hand because his hand is bigger than his own. And I can't miss. And I don't have to look. Right? And then it slots into place. Right there. Okay? Slots into place. And I'm looking at Fred. I don't have to look. This is great. Then I can be one step ahead of the next attack. And it's very convenient that the body works this way for this particular technique. Make it skinny. Okay, press one. Now, he stops moving, I stop moving. He continues to try to get me. He stops, I stop, he continues. It's not me at all. I mean, I'm having to use my muscles a little bit to make myself turn and stuff, but he is the engine driving this thing, and I'm just the steering wheel. Don't be anything more during this exercise than a steering wheel. So start static, relax, push. So I use this push to shake him, and he stops, everything stops, and he comes to me some more. I'm getting out of his way and taking him down the rope. Only if he pushes. And when he stops, I stop. Okay, go ahead. Okay, line up. Line up. Next, sticking with Ikkyo, okay? Ikkyo used to have a different name, but it's old. It's an old technique. And it got changed over time, and then it got changed some more. No Sensei changed it, and then it got changed even more as he got older and refined things. In the old days, it was like this. Show yourself. Here, okay? This you can do if you hit the guy basically on the upper. Okay? If he's already coming down and you're going up, it's very difficult to do. And then he's got a small leg. Okay? But so the idea was you're going to get him on the up straight. Okay? And that's only possible if you're really close already. So you're already in battle and something went wrong, so you dropped your sword and he goes up and cuts you with something, and you get him on the upswing. You have to be this close, okay? Don't let people get that close if you can help it. So it's problematic if you think about when would that ever happen, okay? And if he's taller than you, reaching up is more or less futile effort, okay? So how tall is he relative to you as well? It's not that you can never go over the top, but if you're taller than you, you really can't. And so it's really not the best way. Satomi Sensei doesn't like it at all. It's not strictly forbidden, but it's not going to get you very far. And people were doing it a lot. And it should be like 1%, not more than that, of how you do Ikkyo. So, strikers are coming. I don't want to feel that pain. Ow. Okay? I don't want to feel that. So I want to move and see if he follows. See if he'll take the bait. If he doesn't take the bait, can't do Ikkyo. It's no big deal, do a different technique. But he might take the bait. Then you've got something to work with Ikkyo. Or the alternative, if you're going to insist on Ikkyo, then you have to take that force, and then you have to leverage him over. And again, it won't work if he's bigger, it won't work if he's stronger, it won't work if he's, skilled in like things. So it's a really risky thing to do. You can either give up your fixation on doing the first technique you started with. You think he's attacking, I'm going to try Ikkyo. You insist on that, then it's limiting. You might get by with it. But if you're willing to let it go, if it doesn't, if you see that it's not working, it's called Takimuso-Aiki, then it's very liberating. Okay? And it opens up all kinds of possibilities. Because you can really go for the higher level Aiki. And if you don't get it every time, it's no big deal. So, I did a couple of things there you may or may not have noticed to trick him into committing a little more. You get it over time. And I'm going at the angle and momentum that he's going. Everybody's different. That's where he's going. So I'm doing a really bad version here to try to emphasize this idea. Now, technical points are still there though. But that time I took a little in that. You can see it. Ouch. But it would have been worse because I was this way. And then I turned. Don't go like this. And I saw people doing this in the test. Don't go like this. First of all, don't reach up toward it. And then don't turn your nerve center towards the strike. Because it'll numb your hand. In karate, the basic strike is here. And the reason is because that knuckle goes into their nerve center of their punch. It's a very precise thing. That's why this strike, that knuckle is the reason. If you get hit here, you won't be able to use your hand for at least a minute. So don't get hit there. It's here. Arm wrong? No, I'm right. Okay. No, it's going to okay, try that. This is it. Quickly now. Come on. So Terrence, you met him, you stopped him, and then you pushed him down. So. Don't stop with the that was good, but it wasn't much. So you could use this in the heart. Back to the same. The idea of leading and deflecting, okay? Sure. I'm just trying to make a point. There's a lot of things that are unpleasant about what I just did. I get an impact in my knee, and then I have to brace, and I get stress in my back. Okay, so this is not what I'm saying. This is not a great way of doing something. I'm trying to make a point. Even if I don't move my feet at all, if I know how to lead and blend, connect, and deflect, I can still make it work. And that should be something to take note of. Okay, that's pretty awesome. So if you can do that without moving your feet, when you move your feet, it's just that much easier, that's much more powerful. But it's not about pushing over. It's about pushing. We do this exercise like this, right? You understand? That's what I'm doing. Except for I'm making you go slightly down. A little faster than me. Hit me in the middle. I don't think you can take the knee, so I lean back a little bit. I don't recommend that you lean back because it'll leave you less stable. say don't bend over, that's why. It almost got me. Okay, try that. You need to come a little faster, and as long as they're soft, it's not going to hurt. And you're using them, maybe because he's not giving you enough, but if he doesn't give you enough, it's still, don't punch him, don't strike past, strike me. So that wasn't, you know, a little bit of that, right? But I managed to milk it lost its balance. Right? So that's actually really good training. If you can make a little bit of motion work, then you can make a lot of motion work. Right? So I think that's a better way of dealing with an experienced person. Right? And then it helps him learn what you were wanting. And then the second thing is, you have the basic ankle and everything, but you kind of are here and then you're pulling. But I'm more like rushing. Other hand. Thank you, Sensei. Partners? Come on. Okay, continue. Okay. First one was good, the second one not quite as good. Now, the throw only works because Uke is still trying to get me. And if he stops trying to get me, the throw doesn't work anymore. But I don't have to do anything with this. We're going to talk about it. If he tries to get me in a different way, I don't know, go back to this, maybe a back to this. Then I use it. But I didn't block it. You see that? And that's the Aikido way. Is that right? Yeah. Here. It's not the usual duck that we do. The usual duck we do, the Joju, is much deeper. No, it's like this. So because it's shown, I'm not the duck is deep. And I'm going here, I'm literally leaving the elbow up. So it's almost like a mini arm bar. Now it's not going to arm bar him, but it immobilizes his ability to move for like a second. It kind of gives me time, gives me a little bit of a comfort zone there. Okay, then he keeps coming at me. And I don't even have to use the other hand, although it would be better if I did. Bringing him. Okay? Don't put him. Bringing him to me. Now, it works really well with this Fred. It's just the perfect height for this. Where people that are taller,
it'll be harder. If they're your height, it'll be okay still. If they're taller, this may not work in this version. This is an Urimigami at this point. Okay, but all I'm doing now he's connected to my chest. And then no hands. Understanding his body mechanics in mind. So if I keep moving so that it counteracts his efforts and slowly takes his balance. So watch again. Now that same thing is initially done quickly. So, you know, if I just said the words, but you can see sort of it, play around with it. But what I'm not doing is using strength kind of force, but I can still be very impactful, like what I just did, and still be very soft. And it has to do with using weight shift, using his momentum when I can. And even that's not strength, weight shift. So let's just go slow with your partner because we'll get screwed up if you go fast. Move. So that the entry is you step, go here, down, okay? Okay, good. Not much more time. Enjoy yourselves right here.